In this video, we're going to cover the adult tracker and fall detector. It will come to you in a box that looks just like this. You can see that here in the corner it has a sticker with the IMEI and ID number. You will need those later when we're doing the setup. The box comes like this. You'll see when you open the box you do have an instruction manual. You have the unit itself, which we can pull out and we'll put here so we can use it. And then underneath all of that, we have some other items that we will use. We have this stick here. We have the charging cable. We have a pendant for wearing around your neck. We have a wrist strap and a little device here. You can put it on a finger so you can carry it and not lose it, or attach it to keys if you want, and a little carabiner that we can use to attach things as well. We're going to put most of this away while we worry about the setup of our device. I'll put these up here. So that is the unpacking. That's all you need to do. The first thing you should do, just to see if your device is charged or not, is hold down this big red button for 5 seconds. And you'll see the device says hello, and it starts its boot up. Once it's done, it will give you the time, a date, and up in the upper right-hand corner here, right there, you can see the battery, and you can see that it is full on this device. To turn it off, press the red button again for 5 seconds. And you see it powering off. For the next step, the device has to be in the powered off state. The first step in setting up our pendant is to add a SIM card. So you have to go to whatever provider you have. I have one here for T-Mobile. You see this is a T-Mobile SIM. It has all of the information for the SIM on the back. This device does require an LTE SIM that is voice and data capable if you want to use the voice feature. If you don't have a voice capable SIM, you only have a data SIM, you'll be able to find the location, but you won't be able to have any audio back and forth between the phone that you're using to set this up and the device. Also notice that SIM cards now, they come in 3 different sizes. You've got this large size on the outside, you've got a medium size, and then the very smallest one is just the little metal SIM itself, and that's the one we need. So we're going to punch this out. It's that easy, it just punches right out. You can see the size of the SIM and the part that we punched out right there. Don't need this card anymore for right now. I'm going to put the SIM down. To get the SIM carrier open, just take our little device here with the screwdriver and the little slot right there, and just stick it in and pry it out a little bit. It comes right out. And you can just pull that out then. There's your SIM holder. Notice on the SIM holder that in one corner, it's very small, you have to look carefully, there's a little notch right there. And you can also see on our SIM, there's a little notch. Those notches need to add up, or align, I should say. If you place it in so that the notch goes in the right spot and just press it down, you'll see that the SIM fits perfectly right inside that carrier. Then just place it back into the device and push all the way in until it's secure. Now that the SIM is installed, we can turn the device back on again by pressing the red button for 5 seconds. This time, notice we don't get a no SIM. We get an indicator here that shows that it is connected. And now we can start programming our device and connecting it to a phone. Now that we have the device ready to connect to our application, we're going to go to our phone and start working from there now. This is on an Android phone that I'm going to demonstrate. It would be the same thing on an iPhone. You would do the same steps. Just go to the iStore, or in this case, the Play Store, which I have here, and search for the application. It's called AIBEILE. And you can see we have two here, and we call it Able. But Able or Able Plus. Choose Able, and you can see that we have different things here. Able is location services. That's the one we want. Click Open, download it, and run it. Do not use Able Plus for the Pendant. It says Plus, but really it's just a different version that runs different kind of hardware, and it will not handle the Pendant that we're talking about today. So go to Able, download it, and we'll start looking at what that looks like. After you've downloaded, installed, and run Able, this is the screen you're going to see. There's a couple things you need to pay attention to. The first is you want to click on Login by ID down here. That's how we're going to first log in. Click on I've read and agree to the terms of service. And then up here, this is the ID number of your device. Now, there are two places to find this. One is on the back of the device. On the back of the device, you'll see two numbers. One says IMEI and the other one says ID. The ID is the number that you want right here. Then you have password. The default password for this device when shipped from us is 123456. And I would put that in right here, 123456. That's all you need to do. When you click Login now, you'll be taken directly to the device. It will connect to it, and you'll see the main page. In this video, we're going to step through some of the features of the Ironclad family pendant and its tracking app here called Abeille. So here's the main page. You can see that the device, actually our location right now, is here at the Westin Cape Coral in Florida. You can click on this button right here. That'll show you where the phone is. And you can click on this button to see where the device is. And you can see that it's right now up here visiting some friends up here not too far away. We're going to go back to the phone view. You can also see that we've named the device Mom. And it has a battery of 42%. And you can see where it is currently located here, the address. Right here you see it is telling you that it's going to refresh its location now and in another 15 seconds. Down here we have 5 different switches. The chat, you can type a message and send to the device. It will show up on the device's screen. History tracking allows you to see where the device has been. We'll click yesterday. We haven't been traveling around a lot, but we'll show you anyway. We tend to turn off the show LBS and Wi-Fi points and the trace lines and just see where it is. Now you can go back and turn these on. The trace lines will show you the paths. It's not exact because it only updates every minute, and you can travel, a certain distance in a minute. And you can also go back and turn on the LBS lines. I don't think it adds too much, but you can do it. We have telephone here. If you happen to have a voice SIM, you can click on telephone and call the device and speak to it. It will have a speaker that you can talk to on the device. This phone number is programmed in another place. This is the actual number of the device. I'll show you that in a minute. And then the mode. The mode is where you get to choose how often it updates its position. You can see here we have 1-minute satellite, 3-minute GPS, 10-minute satellite. We leave ours on 1-minute satellite. At first we thought that might be too frequent and it might drain the battery. We've had it on this for 3 days now, and you can see the battery is 42%. So it really hasn't drained the battery that much. We think this is actually pretty accurate, and the battery life seems to be really good, so we leave it on 1 minute. If you've got somebody that rarely goes anywhere, you can set this to 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Just be aware that if it updates and you're set to 10 minutes, you won't get another update until 10 minutes from now, and they could be 10 minutes away. I'm going to click OK on this one. You'll notice when I do, it actually tells us that it is sending your choice to the device, and it's waiting for the device to respond. And it comes back and tells you it was sent successfully, the device has it. So let's move on. We're going to go to the More. And here you see a bunch of the options that you can use for actually day-to-day use of the system. I'm going to come back to this, but first I'm going to go down here to Settings. And in Settings, here's where we get to set up the device and choose all of the parameters that we want to use when using the device. One of the first that you need to set is the admin number. The admin number is the phone number that you can use to control the device. Now, when you send some of your commands to the device, it checks and makes sure it's coming from the admin number, and if not, it rejects them. This is a safety feature so that anybody can't just send information to your device and reset it. So I'm going to set the Ironclad family phone number here, just so I have one in here. And again, I'll hit OK. It'll tell me it's sending it to the device. The device will respond and tell me that it's been received. And then emergency number. These are the numbers that will be called in sequence if there's any emergency. If there's a fall, or somebody leaves the geofence or something else, this is the number that's going to get notification. Again, I'm just going to set our one number in here for demonstration purposes. You can set 3 of them, and like I said, they call these in sequence. If the first one doesn't answer or respond, it calls the second one, and so on and so on, and it continues to loop. And the command was sent successfully. We have whitelist. These are the numbers that are allowed to communicate with the device. Who can call it, right? You might say, okay, well, I'm the admin, but I want myself, my wife, my daughter, my son to all be able to call this device. You would put their names and their phone numbers in here. Next, we have the Do Not Disturb. You can set this for certain times. Say on Sunday, from this time to this time, I don't want any alarms to go off. If you know they're sleeping, or the person that has the device is in an office or a building or a meeting, you can set these as Do Not Disturb times so that the device isn't interrupting whatever it is that's happening at that time. Language and time zone is important. We have it set to English. Time zone is the number of hours from Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Time. I know that on the East Coast right now, during Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, we are an offset of -5 hours. So that's what you actually want to put in here is -5. Likewise, if you were in Central Time, it'd be -6, Mountain would be -7, Pacific would be -8, and then of course all of those would change by 1 hour if it was Daylight Savings Time. So we'll go ahead and click OK on that and send it to the device. Now we also have an SMS alarm switch. This is whether or not the alarm can be on or off, and of course you have to have the admin number in there. A low battery SMS. So if the device starts getting low on battery, do you want the administrator to be alerted that they're running out of battery? Answer mode is whether or not it answers automatically or if there's a button. When you call, do you want them to have to hit the button in order to answer the call, or do you want the device to just automatically answer? We leave it at answer. That seems a little bit better. Call alert is how you want to be alerted when there's a call. And again, you can see the options here. You can have a vibration and ring, or just vibration, or not to have any notification at all. Fall detection. Now we turn on fall detection and we turn on fall call alarm. These allow us to be notified if a fall is detected and to actually make a call. The alarm will both sound an alarm on the device and send an SMS message. The call will call the numbers in your emergency numbers, letting you know that a fall has happened. I'm going to just cancel on that. Sensitivity level is how much action does the device need to feel in order to detect that a fall has happened. This is on a scale from 1 to 8, with 1 being the most sensitive and 8 being the least sensitive. The device defaults to 5. We normally set this down to 4 on our devices. If you set it to 1, just having a device in your hand and walking will probably set it off. If you have it to 8, you've got to take a really, really hard fall in order for it to alert. So 4 to 5 seems to be about right, and we normally choose 4. Reject cold call is if someone else tries to call, does the device accept it or not? And we leave that off. The others here are for managing the device. Once a SIM is put in the device, you can't actually turn it off at the device. That's a safety feature. You can remote reboot it, restart it. You can do a remote shutdown, or you can restore the factory settings. Unless you're starting all over again, I don't recommend restoring factory settings, but the reboot is nice to have, so if anything is going on from your phone, you can tell it to reboot itself. And of course, the change password if you want to change the password on the device. Those are the main settings of the Pendant. And now we're going to go back to some of the features. The geofence. This is where you can set a circle around any area of any radius and say if the person who has the device goes into or leaves that area, you'll get an alert. We have 2. We set up a park and we set up home. I'll add another one. Just click on the add button and you see, like, this is where the device is right now, and it's got a radius of 100 meters. You can set that more, 200, 300. We'll set it to 200 and we'll set a name for it, and we'll say that right now this is, let's say, we'll put grandma's. Now as we save that, we see that we have a new geofence around grandma's house. If someone is there and they leave that area, the main phone will be alerted. If they are not in that area and they go into that area, you'll be alerted. So just a great way to know if somebody is going somewhere or not. App alarm settings, obviously enabling the sound and vibration, pretty self-explanatory. Messages are any of the messages that have come into the device or the device has sent. You can see as we're testing this device, you can see the geofence. Someone went out, someone came in, someone went out, someone came in as we were experimenting. And if we got into a place where the device was not seen by the cellular system, you get an alert that it went offline, and you can see where it was last when it went offline. And then we've got receive SMS from SIM card. Not really used much. This is a way of sending SMSs from the SIM. Not recommended, and we don't use it, quite honestly. Health steps can record if you're keeping it with you. How many steps you take, health, distance, how far you've gone. It's always good. Voice monitoring. You can do this if you have a voice-activated SIM. I know that there are some people that feel this is too obtrusive and it's almost like spying. That's for you to decide how you want to use this device and how the person who is carrying this device wants it to be used. It has to be a mutual agreement. What this does is, if this is activated, as it is here, if you decide to voice monitor, you will start listening to everything that is happening around the device without the device alerting anyone. It can be great for kids if something's happening and you want to find out where are they, what's being said to them. You can listen without anybody knowing. Find a locator, pretty easy. This just sends a command to your locator to start beeping. It means I can't find it. I don't know where my pendant is. Is it in the couch cushion? Did I put it in a drawer? You click OK here and it will start sending a signal to the device to alarm until you find it. And then clock alarms, like any other thing, you can set an alarm once, daily, however many days of the week, so that you get an alarm. And along with that, you get the pill reminder, where you can set an alarm. You can actually record a voice prompt for this when you set it that says, take your heart medication, or whatever you would like. And it will go off as many times as you set it to here to remind the person that they have pills to take. That is most of it right there. That's how easy it is to use. It's pretty self-explanatory. As you turn your pendant on and start going through these options, you'll find out it's easy, and once you get it set up, it's one of those things you almost forget about, and as anything happens, it will just alert you. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to write to us at admin@ironcladfamily.com or give us a call at our main number at 786-761-7177. Thank you.